What is up, my friends? Antebellum, let's talk about it. So, before we get into it, I want to ask you for a favor. If you can go and check out the linked video in the description below, it is a video I did for an editing contest. I would really appreciate if you go check that out, give it a thumbs up, and just go subscribe to that channel as well. It's for a contest, and I'm just asking. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, but go check it out, right? But anyways, let's get it right into Antebellum. Antebellum is a movie that, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very excited when I first saw this trailer. I'm not gonna be here and say it didn't look like good, because honestly it did. The first trailer I saw was during Uncut Gems when I went to go watch it in theaters on Christmas Day, and I was just like, this looks so good. But then I saw some other stuff for it, some more promotional of this, and I felt like it was trying to ride the Get Out wave, which is nothing wrong with that, honestly. But it just felt like it was trying to do it too much, just the way the trailer was cut and what we were seeing and the little snippets here and there. I was just like, Jordan Peele called and he said, "Give me back my marketing team." All kidding aside, though, I was excited for this film. And then we started hearing initial reviews a couple of weeks ago actually, and then it doesn't go on theaters and it's going on video on demand, and I'm just like, eesh, doesn't look good, right? And then it drops today on video on demand, and the scores aren't looking good either from audience or from critics. And if both scores are bad, it is bad. So let's just get right into that ending and that plot twist, which I'm gonna say it. M. Night Shyamalan called, and he wants his plot twist back. Basically, if you saw the trailers for the movie, it was basically like, what is going on here? Because you have present time, and then you have the antebellum slave times, and you have the main character in this movie pretty much being in both times. Janelle Monáe's character. And by the way, Janelle Monáe is a tremendous actress. Ever since I saw her in Moonlight and everything else she's been in, that was just like the defining career moment for her. I think Moonlight. I'm excited to see her what she does next, but this one, it just ain't it. And it's nothing on the actors or anything like that. I think it's just the way it was made, right? So pretty much the twist here is that you would think that there was like some time traveling bullshit going on in all of this, right? Because how is Janelle Monáe's character in the future and then she's in the past at the same time? And so what we find out is that she is actually like a very successful author, and she is going on this tour for her new work, and then she ends up getting kidnapped, and she gets kidnapped and put into the old antebellum slave times, and she's just like, what is going on? Well, the twist here is that she wasn't taken back in time. She isn't reliving an ancestor's dream or anything like that. She is actually living in the present still, but they just took her to a Civil War reenactment field, whatever you want to call it, and they're pretty much these racist people living out their fantasies by having real slaves and acting like they're in antebellum ages. And so that's the big twist right here, and that's The Village right there. If you haven't seen M. Night Shyamalan's movie The Village, that's what it is right there. And it's just like, it just, because that was a twist when it happened years ago, decade, whatever. It was huge, right? Because it hadn't been seen before. But Antebellum tries to do that twist, and I can understand if you try to do old twists and give it a little spin of your own. But that's not that old of a twist. But maybe it is. It is actually pretty old, right? And maybe the movie is a little underseen, but still, I feel like that was the least of the movie's problems, however. So, pretty much what we see is they have to get out of this plantation, Civil War reenactment, whatever, and it's just pretty much just trying to leave, and it's more of like lunatics running this whole thing. So, we see the character pretty much get away. She gets their owner. She wraps his body in a Confederate flag and drags him to where murdered slaves have been burned. And then she ends up getting two more soldiers as well to burn alive as well. She ends up going on a horseback and faces with the final villain, Elizabeth. And pretty much this is where we learn that the owner of this whatever is actually Elizabeth's father, and Veronica was the target of all of this because she pretty much took down some racists on national TV, a racist politician, and that's why they went and took her, even though she was a big public figure. They were pretty much trying to exact revenge on her. We see Veronica kill Elizabeth, and then she just gets out of there. And we see the Civil War reenactment zone, and as well as the sign that says Antebellum, Louisiana's premier Civil War reenactment park, and just a bunch of like tourists are going all over. And that's pretty much where we end right there. Besides the FBI getting into the grounds of the plantation, knocking the park sign over, and there is that. So I guess it's pretty much a movie talking like I'm not trying to say this movie is brilliant and it breaks the mind and you're just like, "Oh my god, I see everything clear now." But I think what the movie is trying to say, and it's a message that is very so understandable, and one that is pretty much seen a lot today, is people cling on to the past, whether they want to say it's for heritage or it's because we have to remember it and all that, even though it's a shitty time, a past, an object, all of that. And I'm not trying to get all political and all here, but it makes sense what the movie's saying is, why are we clinging on to these things like that are so horrific and have a bad connotation, whatever like meaning it had in those times or to you, it still doesn't negate the fact what it means to other people as well that have had like bad experiences from it and have, like, you know what I mean? Like, just because you think, let's say, this object, random object in your hand, and you're like, this is so meaningful because of this and this and this, but it in fact it represents horror, it represents dark times to a group of other people. It wouldn't make sense for you to praise this and say this is amazing, and if you don't praise it or if you don't respect it, then you're like dumb or whatever, right? It doesn't make sense when all of these other people are telling you, no, to us it represents something else, and it's something that isn't like good or all that. So it's like, you can take your little object, go into your house, and don't come out with it. Leave it in there with yourself. And when you come out, make sure it stays home. You know what I mean? Like, keep that shit to yourself. Nobody needs to be parading things like that. And we see it at the end with the Confederate flag and all of that. So, I guess that's what the movie was trying to say. And, I mean, the concept and everything is cool from it as well. It's just, I feel it wasn't executed the way it needed to be. So, there's that. Because, I mean, it's a cool concept, I guess. Because it's something you don't see coming at first, but then midway through you do. You know what I mean? Because I honestly thought we were going to deal with some like supernatural bullshit, but we didn't. It was more realistic, I would say. But pretty much that's what Antebellum's twist is. It's set in the present time. They just kidnap people so that they can live their sick racist fantasies, and pretty much we saw them get what they deserve at the end, right? Anyways, what are your thoughts on Antebellum? What do you think about the movie and its message? Do you think it got it across very well? Or do you think it could have used some help? Let me know in the comments below. But anyways, that's going to do it for me. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Let's get to it. We are about to hit 16,000, so super pumped for that. I will have some videos on the boys coming up this weekend, so you don't want to miss those. Make sure you turn on the bell for notifications. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.